Hello, my name is Chris Kraus, and thank you so much for choosing my video tonight. So, with this particular assignment, I found it very interesting since a lot of these places in which I'll be discussing tonight, I've actually visited. In my social studies classroom, currently, I am teaching about the Revolutionary War, and what I do is I provide my students with my personal photographs of my travels. I think it brings a real richness and authenticity into the social studies classroom that they really appreciate. So, with this assignment, I will be providing two websites that help me out with my research, and of course, my own personal travel stories since I've been to these locations. So, what I like to do tonight is connect historical tourist attractions to actual historic events. I feel as if you visit these historic sites in isolation, it doesn't really allow you to get the full sense of the history and the scope. So I'll bring you back to Fort Ticonderoga. So this whole area of Fort Ticonderoga to Saratoga, to the Hudson River, then to New York City, I'm going to make connections throughout this video. So with these locations, General Burgoyne was a very smart man, one of the top British generals during the Revolutionary War, up until 1777, where he lost Saratoga in the Second Battle at Bemis Heights. But from there, the British military was very, very smart, purposeful, in fact, was securing these very necessary areas, these waterways, this access to rivers to essentially cut off the entire New England colonies from the rest of the colonies. So the British attack, in essence, they had three theaters to it: the New England colonies, the middle colonies, and the southern colonies. So with the New England colonies and the middle colonies with New York, the British wanted to take control of Fort Ticonderoga, which they did. So the waterways that connected them went from, in 1763, when the British actually controlled the St. Lawrence River, from the Richelieu River to Lake Champlain to the Lachute River to Lake George, then to the Hudson River. And the Hudson River obviously then connected to New York City. Incredible strongholds up and down the Hudson River. You have West Point there as well. So with all these rivers, if the British controlled it, then they control supply, they control commerce, in fact. So it was crucial for the British to control these areas. This few hundred-mile stretch of land, the victory for the British was essential for the American Revolution. Now, once Fort Ticonderoga was taken by the British, as they were going south through Lake Champlain, through Lake George, they came to Saratoga against General Gates, American General Gates. So Burgoyne seized the opportunity there at Freeman's Farm, the very first battle, which you can go to today. See, in Freeman's Farm, there really isn't much there. You have to go to Bemis Heights, which is the second battle. Now, in Bemis Heights, they have the monument there. They also have the Schuyler House, which you can go to. I'll explain a little bit of that later when I talk about the websites. Now, this area, though, was secured by the Americans, especially after the victory at Saratoga. So from Saratoga and the capitulation of General Burgoyne and the victory of General Gates, and it wasn't just General Gates as well. You also have General Morgan, Daniel Morgan, and his raiders. And then you also have the Benedict Arnold, of course, before he besieged the rest of his compatriots and was a turncoat. But now, essentially, these areas that I traveled to. So in Fort Ticonderoga, you can visit the website fortticonderoga.org. They actually are running a special if you're in the greater New York state area, where if you buy one ticket, then you get the second one for free, and then you could come the next day for free as well. So it's a great special that they're running. Fantastic for school groups and nerdy historians like myself. So fortticonderoga.com, or .org rather, sorry. You can do boat tours there, which I did that on the Carolean boat. You can tour just around there in Lake Champlain, which overlooks Vermont as well, to the eastern side. So fortticonderoga.org, also Saratoga.com is an excellent place to go to. So there are a couple different parts of Saratoga there. It's about 2,000 square acres of land. You could do hiking, there are walking trails. Now, there also is a monument there, and then the Schuyler House. The Schuyler House was one of the first houses built in the area, very prominent, wealthy, well-to-do family there. And then in the 1800s, they actually renamed that portion just south of Saratoga proper, Schuylerville. So you can go there today, and it's Schuylerville. That whole area, actually, there's this funny story that the docent there, the tour guide, said to our tour group that Benjamin Franklin, upon visiting Saratoga on his way to New York City, he said that Saratoga's roads some were stone, cobblestone, and dirt pastures, rattled his carriage so much that he was rattled to the bone. So that was a nice little tidbit that was filtered down throughout history. So you can visit these sites. They do close down during the winter months, but it's important, though, to visit them thematically. You can follow the path of the revolution, which is outstanding. So I highly suggest visiting this area. And if you would like to imbibe, they have great distilleries and wineries and breweries up there. However, if it's for a class trip, they have plenty of places to grab a quick bite. So thank you again very much. Bye-bye.